Well, it's a beautiful afternoon and here we are at a really stunning old maison de maître with 18 hectares. The lieu-dit is called Sorel. And we're just about 3 kilometres from the centre of the village of Gensac, which has all the commerce that you need, little shops on a daily basis. And the house sits pretty well in the middle of its ground. So, without further ado, let's go and have a look. This is the view looking out of the front door. You can see the barns are on the right. The lane leading to the property, we're right at the end of the lane. Fields in front, right the way down to the woods that you can see on the left, hiding behind that rather unattractive electric post. The house itself they've started the renovation, but it needs finishing, but all the work that's been done so far is good. So let's have a look at that. Probably the worst time of day to do this, so I'm losing the light, which is rather foolish. So we have an entry hall that goes right from front to the back of the property, and on the left here is the room that was the old kitchen. If I turn to the right, we have a room that's a little bit more finished with an open fireplace, and this is actually the room that they've been using as a kitchen. It has a wood burner lurking there and a cooker. But this room actually occupies sort of half the ground floor, and it has it's traversant, so windows both ends. If we walk towards the back of the property, you'll love this. On the left, we have what is probably the largest loo with a fireplace in the whole area. Look at this. Can you believe it? And now that we've seen the world's largest loo, if we look behind this door, you'll find the world's smallest bathroom, which is actually hidden in this space, wedged between the old kitchen and the loo. Little more than a cupboard, but I think we can safely say that the layout needs a little bit of work. But the more positive note is that all the windows have been replaced, so that's one job less to do. The view out of the back of the property, hang on, I'm going to open the window here for you, is absolutely stunning, and the land goes right along the valley. It includes the woods that you see at the end and out to the left. If we come back down the entrance hall, the stairs are hidden up this way. Wooden staircase, off we go. So above the front part of the house are 3 bedrooms. They're actually pretty well finished. Very good sized rooms. Here we go, back along the corridor. For room number 2. And if we go back along the corridor, big cupboards at the end, and the 3rd bedroom. I think probably the more interesting thing is if I take you back towards the stairs. The whole back part of the house is a big open loft space, which offers a huge possibility to be converted. So you've actually got room here, certainly for another 3 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms and a big bathroom. So the upstairs of this property really lends itself to a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom or a 5-bedroom, 2-bathroom layout. It's entirely up to you. So back down the stairs, and we'll go and have a little look at the barns. So if I come out of the front door, I'm going to turn around to the right, and here you'll find there's actually a really nice little courtyard. And on my right here is the bigger of the barns. This one actually has a pretty decent roof on it, and there is actually a door that's been blocked up which communicates with the house. It'd be very, very easy to open that back up. And as I'm assuming you're going to want to change the layout a little bit anyway, it's not the greatest of problems because it actually goes into the incredibly large loo. But you've got a good 109, 110 square metres of usable space in this particular barn. And then as we come back down through here, there's actually another very, very good sized building on the right which forms the other side of the courtyard. So we'll go and have a little look in that one. This one here actually requires a bit more work. Again, it's actually a really very, very good sized barn. But if you look above, you'll see here that the roof is actually not in the best state, unless you want free air conditioning and an extra shower that you weren't necessarily planning on. So you need to budget for a bit of work here. The actual roof structure is all okay. The woodwork's all right. However, it certainly needs relaying, and I would say that the chevrons are a little bit flimsy. I think I'd be inclined to replace the chevrons at the same time and actually make good the whole thing. But again, very, very usable space. And if you're looking for a project where you want to do gîtes and that sort of thing, or simply extend the living space, there's more than enough to play with. Because actually out the back through this door, which we're going to do next, you'll find there's yet another section of barn open to the land on the other side. Well, here we are through the door into the old tractor shed, as it obviously was. With a lovely view down the valley that way. Very useful pile of stone there for whatever else you need to build. If I come outside again, this section here, the roof is not very clever. In fact, that's an understatement. You can tell I'm an estate agent, you see, because I'm saying it's not very clever. Actually, it's bloody awful, but that needs replacing. The house itself is actually very, very good. And the first barn is okay. For me, the two that need attention are this open fronted shed and the second barn that we've just had a look at. So you're not looking at a huge area. And if we walk round the back, they've actually, hang on, I'll walk up the hill and we'll have a look. So this field on the west side of the property, behind the house, you can probably see has been entirely planted with fruit trees. In a couple of weeks the blossom will be out and I'll be able to tell you what they actually are, which will be very impressive, but today I'm afraid I can't. There's the entire of the property. Oh, that's my phone going. Let me answer that. Hang on a minute. Okay, now I finish fiddling about with my mobile, we'll go back to our video. This is the back of the property. And this, to me, is actually very interesting because if you look carefully, you'll see that upstairs at the space that we call the attic, there's one window already in place. But there's actually, you can see where there were two previously, so it'd be very easy to put the other two windows back in. And that will give you a fantastic view out to the west, round this way. It also means you'll get the last of the evening sun into the upstairs on that side. So to me, that would be an extremely worthwhile project and a very good bit of work to do. We've now come right round to the other side of the property, and again it runs right down to the woods in front, down to the stream in the bottom of the valley, and all the way along. So 18 hectares in total. So here we are back at the front, where we actually started from. And I think what I'll do is as we set off back down the drive, I'll do a couple of shots from there as well, so you can actually get an idea of how the house sits in its land, because that's really quite special, very rare. It's a lovely elevated position. The views are absolutely brilliant. It's extremely quiet. Well, I can hear a couple of sheep making a noise, so there you are. You may get the odd sheep making a noise, but apart from that, no other neighbours to worry about. Really super property, actually. So here we are, just before we leave our video tour. I thought I'd quickly just do a shot looking back from the driveway so you can see how the property actually sits. It's in a very, very nice position. Typically enough, I've got the sun pointing pretty well straight into the camera, which really doesn't help very much. But a really super property, and the position is absolutely great. And when you bear in mind how close it actually is to the village, how close to a station, all the things that you actually need, it really is pretty special. So, thank you very much.